Today I actually wanted to share with you grief and 4 gifts that grief has actually given me. And grief for me personally was through the death of a loved one earlier this year. But grief can also be not just the death of a loved one, but the end of a relationship, or it can be a miscarriage, or the end of a job that you've been in. Grief shows up in so many different ways. So I'm Barbara Brangan. I'm an intuitive coach for moms. And the first gift that grief has given me really is allowing myself to be vulnerable. And if you're a Brene Brown fan at all, you'll know that the shield of always trying to be perfect and do everything to the best of your abilities, that can feel like a 10-ton shield. And when we actually lay that down and allow ourselves to be vulnerable, which grief almost forces upon us because the emotions swoosh in so fast, it can feel like a tsunami wave of emotions. That vulnerability is something that comes out of that. It comes out at some stage, whether it's early or a little bit later. So actually allowing yourself to be vulnerable and to cry and to sit with your sad emotions is actually very, very powerful, and it is a release. And the more you actually do it, the easier the grief and the loss is to accept into your life. It never goes away. It just becomes part of the new you. The second gift that grief has given me is knowing how to ask for help. And that's probably because of the first gift. When you feel like stuff is just falling apart, and when you're going through a life-changing experience such as grief, really you do get offers of help from many different people. But it's actually been able to say, yes, I accept your help. I think so often moms are conditioned, or we are just conditioned in general as adults, to say no when we're offered help. Someone go, oh, I can help, I can take your kids, I can cook your meal. And you go, oh no, great, I'm grand, thank you. No. So in those times of need, I've actually been able to say yes, because I've discovered that saying yes to somebody is actually really empowering. I know if you think of a time when you've actually offered to help somebody and you know that you're really helping them in the time of need, it feels bloody good. So saying yes and asking for help is huge. The third one is really a deep appreciation that you form for all of the support that you have in your life, of your family and friends. Because when you're going through this kind of breakdown, struggle, kind of breakthrough experience, and you're deep in that sadness, you really get to see where people are there for you and where they want to actually support you. And you can be surprised at the people who actually really step up and are there. You see people through a new light. Quite often it can be people who've experienced grief themselves and they really truly understand that. It is, you also see sometimes that your friends are quite vulnerable and find it hard to speak about those emotions, and that's okay. You learn and grow together through this. And actually, I'm going to throw in an extra gift that grief has actually given, and this is probably the best. It has actually given me, it has deepened my faith and my strength, because in all of my work, it's all about the intuitive, it's all about the energy, it's all about the universe and guides and spirits and everything that's there to support us. And losing a loved one is bloody hard. It's the only way to actually explain it. It's really, really hard. Even when you have faith in the afterlife and the soul being there. But my personal experience is my faith has actually been deepened. Yes, I grieve. Yes, I cry. Yes, I'm sad. And yes, it's horrible. There are days when you miss that loved one so much. But I've actually had amazing experiences within meditation where I've actually felt my father's energy around. And I know from sessions that I do for clients that life never ends. The soul is always there and our loved ones are trying to get through. And I hear different music come on. I see different synchronicities and signs, and things go my way when I know that he's there. So grief is rough, but after the storm comes the rainbow. And it has given me a lot. I hope this helps you wherever you are on your journey. Much love.